Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome and thank you for joining me. And if you're returning, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So as you can see from the title, I am doing a Q&A, which has been long awaited. I've just been putting it off for like the longest time because I just felt like you could just ask me directly, or I just think like who's gonna really ask questions. But I actually had quite a few questions asked via Instagram, and I also had a link to an anonymous platform where you can submit your questions. So I'm just going to get right into it. So I'm going to start with the questions that were sent to me anonymously. There are some overlaps, so some of them I won't answer just because the answer would be very, very similar. So the first one is, how do you manage to balance work, school, personal, life so seamlessly? The word seamlessly is the keyword in this question, which is avoid. It is never that seamlessly. I would say that I am great at it, actually. I'm not going to lie to you. Some may say it's high functional anxiety that gets me like this, but I'm just super organized. And I just feel like once you prioritize like certain things, like you can't afford to slack. And I think that's the reason why I can be so organized, because I prioritize quite a few things in my life, and so they're so important to me that I just get the job done as opposed to like procrastinating when it comes to that. So let's say with this, I love creating content, I love editing, especially the editing part. I love like upskilling when it comes to editing, so I prioritize that in my life. Like I'm going to always find time to edit even when I'm tired after a long day of work, a long day of studying. I'm always going to find time to put it in. However, I do have a system in place, and I've explained this in my goals video how I do this, and I just stick to that. The next question is, what are you looking for in a partner? I feel like this changes with different like phases in my life, but I guess the most consistent things is ambition. And I feel like ambition is very important because I'm a very ambitious person. I'm a go-getter, or like a high achiever, as some people would say. So I feel like you have to be ambitious, otherwise I don't want to feel like, I don't know how to explain it, but I just don't want to feel like it's dead weight, if that makes sense. Like I'm dragging someone to do something with their life. It doesn't matter, like I'm not I don't like discriminate as to what you want to do, if it's arts based, if it's science based, if it's, you know, very corporate. As long as you're ambitious and you're working towards something, I feel like that's good, because I'm always working towards something, and I'm just that kind of person, as you've seen in my goals video. So I just feel like if you have that kind of mindset where you're trying to push towards something, I think that's really great. Also initiative. I feel like because it's so big within me and my friends, I feel like having initiative, just like the small things that matter, to be honest, like just remembering small details and just being so helpful and just being so thoughtful. I feel like that's very important to me, just because I'm like that, and my closest friends are really like that as well. And so I just feel like that just needs to also be my partner as well, and someone that I can just have a laugh with, to be honest, because life is serious as it is. So I just like being around people who I can just have a laugh with. I don't want something where it's just super serious all the time. I just want to know that once I'm with you, I don't have to think about all the problems, all the other problems in my life that I can't control, and when I'm with you, I'm just having a great time and just forget about all those things that are worrying me. When's the last time you laughed until your belly hurt, and what had happened? If I remember correctly, I don't know which one came first, but I do remember there's a day I laughed so hard I was crying, and I literally like I was laughing so badly that I became like my asthma. Like I had to, like I was looking for my asthma pump because I couldn't breathe anymore, and it was basically this video. And I know it shouldn't be fun. And I remember sending it to like Jibs and my girls, and we were just laughing so, like we were laughing so much, we were just going voice notes back and forth, just laughing at the thing for like at least a good hour or so. What's 3 things you would tell your younger self? I don't even know. I think I even preferred my younger self, you know. I think my younger self was really like even more of a go-getter in a different way, in a sense of nothing can tell me, like no one could tell me that I can't do anything, because that would just fuel me even more. I'd have these wild ideas and I'll go for it. I'll try and make it work. And I think maybe it's also because I didn't have as much responsibility. So for me, I'll find a way. Like, oh, mindless behavior is coming next week. I'll find a way. I'm gonna make it to that concert. You know, that kind of thing. Like I feel like I was an individual. Like for me, like if everyone's doing something, I wouldn't do it just because people are doing it. If anything, one thing I would say is don't compromise your hobbies for school so much so early. And I say that because I quit doing theatre and I quit doing tap just as I was about to start, and by the time I got trained up to start auditions for theatre and like movies and stuff, I had quit because for me in my head I thought that secondary school was serious because I had been watching so many sitcoms growing up, like That's a Raven and stuff like that. So for me I just thought, oh my gosh, homework's gonna be so hectic, you're doing all these subjects, all this work, all these projects, so I need to focus on school. So 11-year-old me had quit because I thought that I need to put school first, and it was good like in the later parts of my life, but that early on I shouldn't have quit, especially because I still wish I was doing tap. I don't know what else I would say to my younger self. I feel like my younger self was so amazing, and that's not even in a vain way. I would just say that everything that I did as a young person made me who I am today, so I wouldn't have much. I would say just live life how you did, basically. Like I enjoyed myself as a child. I had great friendships which I still hone today, great experiences despite everything, and I feel like that's why as well the people I was around just made life seem so amazing. If you could change something in the world, what would it be and why? I would want more people to follow Christ. Not saying any other religions wrong. I would just say in the sense of his teachings. And the reason I say this is because Christ, like the word teaches so much on love, compassion, mercy and forgiveness, that I feel like if we all had that more in our lives, then I think that we wouldn't have as much greed and all these other things that are just disrupting the world as it is now. Like I don't think politicians will be as nasty as they are. And I'm not saying that that's all politicians, but politics is a very dirty game or dirty industry. And actually a lot of industries are like that, music industry, anything. I don't think it would be as bad as it is if people followed the word much more, if that makes sense. So I would say that's one thing I would change, because that would probably unravel a lot of problems that we have today. What are some of your career goals, education goals? I do hope to finish studying the ACA. So ACA is basically the qualification to become a chartered accountant, which I'm in the middle of. Long term, I really want to get an MBA from Harvard University. And what other career goals? I do hope to have my own organisation. Actually, a few organisations. I hope to have an empire. So people like Rihanna really inspire me. Yeah, but that'll be in different things, and that's why I study business, because everything I do, like the way I am, I have so many different sides to me. I can't fit myself into a box, and business is multidisciplinary. You can't actually fit it into a box as well. So it was actually like the perfect degree for me. So there's so many things I want to do, like arts wise, charitable wise, yeah, corporate wise. So yeah, I just hope to have my own organizations. What's your favorite 3 things about yourself? I like how driven I am. I like how resilient I am. So no matter what like is thrown my way, even if it annoys me, even if it worries me, I always know I'm gonna push through. And what else do I like? I like that I don't mind being me as me. Like I don't mind just sticking out or being that sore thumb. Whether it be my opinions, the way I dress, anything. Like just since young, I've just always been that person. Yeah, and I like that about myself, that I don't mind being different. If you could be from any other country, where would you pick? Nationality wise, I am British. If I could change, I would say Canadian, or where else would I say? As much as I like Australia as a country, I just don't like how far it is. Um, I would say Canadian is like probably the perfect place for me. Um, in terms of ethnicity, I'm Ugandan and I wouldn't change it for the world, to be honest. The next question really is, are you proud of where you're from? Absolutely. I love everything about Uganda. Obviously, there are problems, but there's problems in every single country, no matter how developed or not it is. That's probably not English that I just said, but hey ho. There's always problems. So as much as we're in the UK and it's one of the richest countries, there are a list of problems. So they just like to paint this picture that Africa and like South America are like they have so many problems and whatnot, but really and truly every country does. So for me, Uganda's just perfect. It's literally me. Like I love being Ugandan. What countries are you visiting this year? So all my travel plans have been ruined because of COVID. So I wanted to go to Uganda end of last year and that got pushed. And because I was supposed to go last year, I would have gone to other places this year. So now everything's been pushed. I have no clue because I also study, but there's all these conditions of this like traveling right now, like you can't go here, you can't go there, you need this test, you need this vaccine. So I don't actually know how feasible a lot of these plans are, but I think if anything, Uganda's definitely happening. Are you dating anybody right now at Mr. Ugandan Schnack eye emoji? Okay, I've got quite a few of these questions. I would never like put out that kind of business on like the internet. So even if you ask, even if I'm in a relationship or not, I wouldn't like. I'm not gonna answer that. What age would you like to start a family? I wanted to have kids at 27 because my mum had me at 27. But for someone that doesn't even want to pay for a new Oyster card, I don't think that's feasible because that's only 2 years away. So maybe like later in my 20s. Like I'm in literally the halfway point now. So maybe the later stage, like 28, 29. I don't mind. What's one thing you can't live without? Oh, God, first and foremost. Oxygen. What's one thing you can't live without? I just feel like those are the things you can't live without. Everything else you can make do, to be honest. What's your favourite thing about being Ugandan? Our banter. I think the way we socialise is just hilarious. Like, Ugandans are just funny, even without trying. Just even the small things that they say, I just find it funny. Even listening to our parents talking and stuff. I just find there's just so much humour in the way we speak. What's your favourite childhood memory? It's so hard. I've actually got so many that I can't even pinpoint. But I would say my favourite era of life would be when I was T minus. Like that, the memories there within that block. So I would say like from 2000 and I would say 2011, 2012 is like my favourite year of life. 2012, 2013, 14, them kind of years, life was just lit. What's it like being a bad bee? You tell me, because I can imagine you probably are yourself. Where do you see Monochrome Ego in 5 years? Where would I see? I would hope to have like more, like I would hope to have creative jobs here and there, freelancing, not full time but part time, but more so like creative direction, working on projects like editing, like big projects, as in big projects, as in not my projects, but something like visuals. Do you get what I'm saying? So I like that. Like I like the post production. I like pre production when you're planning things. Yeah, styling. I would hope to have like some sort of styling job here and there because I do like styling. I just don't take these things too serious, like too hard, like with my career. I just like to go with the flow with these kind of things, and what will happen will happen. Any videos with Olugambo Squad coming soon? So I've addressed this so many times, and I think the whole team has addressed this so many times. We were supposed to shoot back in December, however, literally days before we were about to drive up to Coventry to shoot, we were put into a national lockdown, so that had to be cancelled. hopefully Easter times they're going to relax some things, and so we can go up and shoot some content for you guys. What is your dream job? I don't aspire to have a job. Are boyfriends a distraction? It depends on you as a person. For me, I wouldn't say it would be a distraction, only because I'm a very heads down kind of person. Like, I can have a boyfriend, or like the same way I had my friends, or the same way like team mindless, like being team mindless was so big in my life, but I would still like that. I wouldn't compromise what is important to me, which would be my education, my career, my hobbies. But it depends on the person. What's your ideal engagement destination? The Empire State in New York. I think it's, I don't remember what floor it is, 80th or 86th floor. There's an observatory deck. I would love to be proposed there. It could be hired out, cleared out. It would be nice, but it would have to be summer, because I went there in the autumn and it was super windy that high up. So it's not ideal. I think my eyelashes would probably fly away, but in the summer it should be fine. Was lockdown a blessing or a curse? I would say both. It depends on your life. Like for me, at that stage of life when we went into lockdown, I needed the solitude. I needed to focus because so much was going on externally, as in not in my life but is affecting my life, that I just needed time to focus on what was important to me, for me. But then it's been a curse in certain ways, like not having certain shops open, cancelling plans, my birthday plans. I've had to postpone my birthday until later on in the year. So in that kind of sense, it's been a curse, but it is what it is, to be honest. How long did it take you to learn how to edit? I couldn't even put a timestamp on it because I was actually editing for a while. And in that sense, I would say that because I had a previous channel with my friends when we were younger, so like in 2012. And that's not even the first channel we had. The first vlog channel we had was in 2012, and I was editing then, and I was using Windows Movie Maker. I don't know, like even then I didn't have like YouTube tutorials. I just got it, like it just clicked like that. And then once I had iMovie, yeah, I think everything was intuitive to me until I wanted to do like special effects, and then I'd use YouTube. Then I moved on to Premiere Pro, and that one needed a lot of YouTube because Premiere is so hard. Like once you open that interface, you would understand. How long? I couldn't I couldn't put a timestamp on it. But I would say it is a skill that you have to keep working at. You can't do one video now and then in 10 months think that you can edit it just as well. Some of my edits I actually can't remember how I did, by the way. Who are your style inspiration / icons? Rihanna, number one. Rihanna, Justine Skye, Yara Shahidi actually. I would also say a lot of them come from like sitcoms. So a lot of the 80s, 90s sitcoms that I used to watch, so Whitley Gilbert and Vanessa Huxtable, they're like my style inspirations as well. So that's why I have quite a few, like you can see like 90s fashion has an influence in my style. And I'd also say Leomi Anderson as well. Back in the day she used to have a blog called crackchinacut.com, and I used to love the way she would bring in so many different textures within her outfits, and she would have like androgynous looks. She'll like even the most feminine things she would make, like she'll add on something masculine to it, and she would make it look so amazing. So I would say, yeah, those are the people. I've got a blog post on this actually. I'll probably link it down below. One thing you're looking forward to this year? Going to Uganda and my birthday. What do you love most about YouTube? In terms of watching YouTube, I love how you're just exposed to different people in different areas of the world. Yeah, I love watching people in different countries, like their vlogs. So I'm a big person, like I love watching vlogs. In terms of creating, I love the editing part. I love like pushing to a high level of editing, like my editing from back then to now, like amazing growth. Aside from international business, what other degree would you have done? Developmental economics or international development, or maybe even PPE. Who does your hair? Well, if it's my natural hair, it's just me. Like this hairstyle is my cousin. I will leave her details below. She's a hairdresser, and my auntie also does my hair as well when it's like single plaits. What's your body count? Y'all are weird. Okay, so I'm gonna go onto Instagram and I'm going to look at the questions that you guys have sent me. When did you start and what made you start? So YouTube, I started 2018 at some point there. What made me start? I was editing videos beforehand and putting them onto Instagram, and people just message me and be like, oh, I was searching for your YouTube videos, and I was like, I'm not on YouTube, I'm just making these little vlogs for Instagram, or like put things on my stories. And then yeah, then I was like, you know, I might as well just make longer versions. And so that's why I started off with a lot of throwback content, because I was always shooting content for myself, not like to put out, but just because I like documenting. And so then I just decided I might as well. I was in Australia at that point. How are you so smart? How am I so smart? That's all within God's hands. That was not me, but whatever you can control, control. If it means reading books, read books. Dream holiday. As of now, it would be Tanzania. Tanzania, the Philippines, Canada. I feel like those are my three, and Rwanda. Those are my four that are the ones that I really want to go to. How are you slaying, sis? You should see me on a day-to-day, you'd even take that comment. What made you go into dance? It wasn't even a thing, a conscious decision, like I'm going to go into dance. I was always dancing from the moment I can walk. I was just always just dancing. So it wasn't a conscious decision. It was just something that I would say that for me, God just gave to me. Like that was the gift that he just gave to me from young. So yeah, it wasn't a conscious decision. But in terms of training, I can't remember what age my dad put me into theatre, and that obviously included jazz. So what do you miss about living in Australia? The Tim Tams. Oh, sausage chisels. Like I've been craving them, and we don't have that same kind of sausage over here to make them. I would say like how chill it is. I like how the vibe is so chill. So even though I was living in Melbourne, I feel like everyone was just like on holiday, as opposed to it being like loads of commuters and everyone's stressed. I think that's what differentiates like London life and Melbourne life, is that in the city everyone just felt like they were on holiday. Well, I felt like everyone felt like they were on holiday, just touring around, as opposed to here where it's like, move out my way, I need to get to the office kind of thing. And I just miss how beautiful it is. Like there's so much natural sights to see in Australia, and I didn't even see the half of it. So I'm definitely gonna go back to continue touring, and I'll probably need another year. Do you have any siblings? If yes, how many? I have 3 siblings, 2 sisters and 1 brother. On a scale of 1 to 10, how is 2021 going so far? I would say 6, 7. I don't know, 10 being great. I'll say 6, 7. Or 6.5. I wouldn't say it's going bad. I wouldn't say it's going amazing. And the only reason why it's not going amazing is just because it's not been exciting. What is your next big goal you've set for yourself? To launch my organisation, hopefully by the year end. What drives you the most? My parents' story, as in like their history, God, and what drives me most? Just the fear of just giving up on my life, and you only have one life, so you have to make the most out of it. What's your sun, moon, and rising sign? My sun sign is an Aquarius, my moon sign is an Aries, and my rising is a Virgo, I believe. Have you ever had a Valentine's? Does my girls count? Because a lot of my Valentine's days have been with my girls. Who? The reading. I'm even just skipping words. What or who is currently inspiring you in a creative way? My big inspiration right now, I would say, is watching Grown-ish. Yeah, I think watching Grown-ish, watching other creators. Actually, I've come across a lot of East African creators that I really like. Just generally creators on YouTube. I watch like a whole plethora of people, like, yeah. what made you interested in traveling? Because there's so much more to see in this world. So many people, so many perspectives. I love having conversation with people from different places because we all have different perspectives on life and it makes you grow as a person. How did you learn to do your makeup? This is the last question. I think just watching my friends, because I was like the last person to get really into makeup like that. So I would just watch my friends, especially at uni when they were getting ready to go out. I'll just be the one coming with the speakers, just playing music and just watching them. And then eventually I got into it after like my 21st birthday, and I kind of just freestyle. So I still don't know how to do contour and that, but it is what it is. So thank you guys, thank you for watching, thank you for asking me all these questions. For those that did ask me the questions, I hope I've answered them in a way that you like. But yeah, this was actually quite fun to do, so thank you so much, and I hope you really like this and it's giving you more insights on my life. Peace out.